Do you ever get so caught up in your own thoughts that you just can't seem to find a way out? Well, today, we're going to explore a really simple but honestly profound way to tackle the problem that so many of us face: how to stop overthinking everything. And we're going to do it with a story that might just change the way you see your own mind.
So let me ask you something. Does your mind ever feel like this? A stormy, choppy ocean that just never, ever settles down, where every single thought is like a wave crashing into the next, and there's absolutely no calm in sight?
It's that feeling, right, of being totally trapped in a cycle of what ifs. It's like you're about to send an important email, and then suddenly your mind is just flooded. What if I sound stupid? What if they completely misunderstand my tone? Oh my gosh, what if I made a typo? Each question is just another gust of wind on that stormy ocean in your mind, making it impossible to see any clear path forward. So how do we calm this storm? Well, to figure that out, we're going to turn to a simple but really powerful story. Let's call it The Master and the Pond. Okay, so our story kicks off with this brilliant young architect. He's got a huge project in front of him, but he is completely stuck. I mean, paralyzed by this overwhelming fear of making a mistake. Every single design choice, every line he could possibly draw just becomes another source of anxiety. So he's at his wit's end, right? Just desperate for a solution. He travels to a monastery to find a wise Zen master, hoping for some secret, some technique to quiet his overactive mind. The master, he just listens patiently. And then, without saying much at all, he leads the architect to a pond nearby. The water is in constant motion because there are people standing by the edge, just casually throwing stones into it, creating this endless series of splashes and overlapping circles. The master looks at the architect, points to the chaotic surface of the pond, and says simply, "Your task is to count the ripples." Now you can imagine the architect is confused. Of course he is. How on earth could he possibly succeed at a task like that? And that very confusion, well, that's what leads us directly to the story's core insight, the ripple's timeless lesson. He tries his best. He really does. He focuses on one ripple, but before he can even trace its path, bam, another stone hits the water, and his count is just lost in a new wave of chaos. And right there, in that moment of total frustration, he has a breakthrough. He turns to the master and says, "It's impossible. I can't count the ripples while the water is still being disturbed." The Zen master just smiles. And here it is, the crucial point of the entire story. The master replies, "Exactly. Your mind is the pond. The stones are your thoughts and worries. You cannot make a clear decision until the mind is quiet." I mean, it's a perfect visual, isn't it? On the left, you've got the disturbed mind. It can't see clearly because it's constantly reacting to every new stone, every little worry, every what if. But then you look over on the right and you have the quiet mind. And here's the thing. It's not a mind with no thoughts, but it's one that allows the ripples to settle, creating the clarity you need for good decisions. The story is such a powerful metaphor for sure, but how do we actually apply it to our own lives? How do we find our own still water? Let's break down a practical method. It really comes down to a 3-step path to stillness. First up, step 1, recognize the stones. When you find yourself spiraling down that what-if rabbit hole, just notice it. No judgment, just say to yourself, there's a stone. Step 2, stop trying to count the ripples. This one is huge. Instead of frantically analyzing every single thought, just let it be. You don't have to engage with it. And finally, step 3, allow the water to settle. Take a few deep breaths, maybe go for a short walk or listen to some music. The key is you don't force stillness. You create the space for it to happen on its own. So the ultimate lesson here is that clarity isn't found by thinking harder. It's actually found by creating the space for your mind to become still. So I'll leave you with this final thought to take with you. What ripples, what obsessive thoughts can you stop trying to count and simply allow to settle starting today?